Hello, my name is James Green. I'm the Director of Financial Assistance here at Harris-Stowe State University, and I have a presentation to provide to you about kind of how some things work here at Harris-Stowe, some things that you need to do, some things that the financial aid office is going to do, and kind of what our main goal is as we move through the orientation process and enrolling and so forth. So let me get started. So the first thing that we like to talk about is the two different offices that have an impact on the your financial situation here at Harris-Stowe. So we have the bursar's office. The bursar's office is in charge of assessing charges, posting financial aid. They're in charge of doing student refunds, paychecks, things like that. If you have questions about payment plans or if your money's posted or how much you owe, you would go to them. The financial aid office, in turn, we help you with your FAFSA. We get awards done for Pell Grant, for student loans, some other different types of aid. We manage the federal work study process and so forth, and we get all that set up to cover your balance, and then we pass that on to the bursar's office to do the rest of it. So just so you know, those are the differences of the two offices. So again, we deal mainly with scholarships, federal Pell Grant, direct loans, plus loans. We help you through all that process as much as we can. At this point, I always like to point out that we have a scholarship here for students that are from the surrounding states. So if you're from any state that surrounds Missouri, Iowa, Oklahoma, Illinois, you qualify for what's called a Hornet rate. What the Hornet rate does is it offsets your out-of-state tuition and makes it as if you're paying in-state tuition. So you'll be charged out-of-state, you'll have the Hornet rate, and once it hits your account, you just have to pay the rest, which is just like a Missouri resident. So that's how we give you in-state fees and tuition. So a lot of you may know this already, but colleges are set up basically on a credit hour system. So classes can be 1 credit hour, 3 credit hours, up to 5 credit hours. So those credit hours are how we charge for that class. So each class for an in-state student is each credit is $210 a credit hour, out-of-state $403 a credit hour. So if you have a 3 credit hour class, you're in-state, that's $630 that you're gonna have to pay for that one class. That's tuition. So tuition, as you can see, for out-of-state and in-state is different, but it's also, if you're from one of those surrounding states, the Hornet rate will offset that, so you're paying the in-state. We also have fees. So the fees help to keep the school running technology-wise, student activity fees, the student center fee. It just helps us to fund the different activities and different things, like this lab, for example, so that you have a better experience here at Harris-Stowe State University. And that's charged every semester as well. And then books are charged at $25 per credit hour. You rent those, you use them for the whole semester, then you return them, and that's all you need to do. You've gotten your books at a relatively reduced price. You don't have to do that. You can opt out of that if you want to opt out of the book rental program. That's for 1 year, and then you would be responsible for getting your own books and paying for them out of pocket. They won't be on your bill. So you can do that. You just have to contact the bursar's office and they can help you get that done. So one great program here at Harris-Stowe State University is that we allow students to get 4 free credit hours. So credit hours that you enroll in between 12 and 16 hours are absolutely free. There's no tuition charge. So in other words, if you're in 12 hours, you're going to pay a certain price. If you add another class and enroll in 16, it's going to be the exact same tuition. So everybody here at Harris-Stowe State University should be taking at least 15 or 16 credit hours a semester so you can save that money and graduate early. So here you can see what the tuition is for in-state. We have tuition, we have fees, we have books. So if you're taking 12 to 16 hours, you're going to pay about $3,142. If you're out of state, you pay the out-of-state tuition and you get $5,458. But again, if you have that Hornet rate, it'll offset that. So out-of-state students would be actually paying the $3,142 as well. Where the costs here at Harris-Stowe really kind of start to add up is when you live in the dorm. So if you live in the dorm, they're going to charge you for the dorm fees. That includes housing as well as a meal plan. So so it's not too bad of a deal. It's just a lot of money in one semester for some students to pay. So just keep that in mind as you're deciding if you're going to stay on campus or off. So as you can see, here's the same calculation. When we add in the campus, on-housing campus charges, it goes up quite a bit. For out-of-state students, it could go up to $10,203. And that's where we come in to try to help you get all that covered with some type of financial aid, payment plan, or whatever, so you can be what we call financially cleared. So here's just a summary of what that looks like if you're off campus at the top, and if you're on campus at the bottom. So don't be surprised if you have a balance, or you owe money, or you have to take a payment plan out, or plus loan if you live on campus, because the charges are there. So it should be no surprise. So we have a student portal. It's called My HSSU, and you can log in there and look at a lot of different information. One of the documents that's out there is called the course and fee statement. It's a wonderful document because it allows you to see the courses you're enrolled in. It allows you to see your charges, and it has your financial aid on it. And then at the very bottom, it does the math for you. It compares the charges to the financial aid and tells you if you have a credit balance or if you owe money. And this is on the student portal, so you can run it anytime you want, every day. You can print it out. You can take it to an office if you have questions. It just helps to kind of bridge that gap and allow you to ask the questions you need to when you're meeting with somebody. So if you live on campus, some students will have to have their parents take out a Parent Plus loan. So to get a Parent Plus loan, you have to go to a website. It's called studentloans.gov. You go there, you log in using the parent logs in using their FSA ID. That's the ID that they use to complete the FAFSA. So you would log in and you would go to the direct loan, to the direct plus loan link, and complete a plus loan for undergraduate students. And you can list Harris-Stowe there, submit that, and then we'll get it. So how that works is, if you are approved, you can request enough money to cover all the charges you need. In fact, you can get excess money that causes a student refund, and then you'd have some money for some other things, transportation, and so forth. However, if the plus loan is denied, what that does is it opens up eligibility for your student to get some additional money under their name. They would get an additional $4,000 in unsubsidized direct loan. And we would split that up, half in the fall, half in the spring, so that would help them get much closer to paying that balance off and being financially cleared. So a couple things that students need to do if they have a student loan is they need to do what's called a Master Promissory Note, or MPN. It's also referred to as a direct loan agreement. So what that is, that's the contract between you and the federal government that if you take that loan, you're going to pay it back. So then they have a legal it's a legal binding contract to make sure you pay that, and it tells you all the rights and responsibilities that you have as a borrower of federal student loans. There's also a direct loan entrance counseling. That is a tutorial that everyone has to go through. So it's going to teach you about deferments, about borrowing habits, not over borrowing, making sure you understand kind of the ramifications of what's going on as you borrow more and more money each year, because it does add up, and they want you to understand that. They also want you to understand that you have to pay that, but if circumstances come up, there are ways that you can do a forbearance or deferment that keeps you from having to pay that for a short period of time. Our ultimate goal is to get you financially cleared. So in other words, you have a balance on your account, $10,000. We're going to come up with financial aid, Pell Grant, scholarships, payment plans, plus loans that equal that amount. And as long as we can show that we have enough money to cover your balance, you're going to be financially cleared. So by being financially cleared, that allows you to stay in class. It allows you to get a room assignment in the dorm, and definitely makes your stay here at Harris-Stowe much more enjoyable. So if you have to do a cash plan out on our My HSSU portal, you would go to Academic Profile and go to Finance Information, and on that page is everything you need to make a decision or understand your financial awards and ramifications And especially there's a CashNet link, and that is our payment plan. So once you're all awarded, you can go to that CashNet, sign up on that, and set up the payment plan so that you can become financially cleared. So there's one other thing that the bursar's office would like you to know is that if you have a credit balance on your account, that means you have a student refund, and they were going to cut a check for you and get that to you. But there's a couple of options. They can cut a paper check that you can pick up at the bursar's office window once they have that printed, or you can sign up through that same location, My Academic Profile, Finance Information, and then go to the student refund choice and put your bank account information in there, and then they would do a direct deposit so that money comes to you a little bit quicker without as much hassle as far as having to go to the bank and so forth. It would be direct deposited and you'd be ready to go. And I believe that concludes my presentation for today. Thank you.